Hi, and welcome back, and thanks as always for spending a little time with us. This time you're doing so on a Tuesday, of course, in the 9th day of June, where we've seen things start to warm up. And if you think today's been warm, just wait till tomorrow. It's definitely going to be a Don Henley kind of day, and if you don't get that, just give it a minute. By the time I get to the forecast, I have most certain that you will. We have a bit of a break in the action as far as showers and thunderstorms, and we have a little more sun in the forecast for the weekend than we had this time last evening. We still have some heat, some humidity, and some showers and storms to potentially have to dodge. Your updated forecast coming in just a few moments. Headlines tonight. One will serve as a reminder as to the dangers that we face while traveling at the behest of others and what kind of folks are traveling our roadways. Person arrest in Sagersville last night. Some big news that I think most certainly is going to lead to some even greater news for a Kentucky home place. I'll tell you more about that. Other news and information that you'll only see with me. I need to remind everyone that the McGoffin County-wide cleanup is still ongoing this week through Friday. They're in District 2. If you vote in Magisterial District 2, that's Buckla Masters District. The garbage collection, the cleanup goes through this Friday, and they're doing it in reverse order this year as opposed to last. Next week will be Gary Rooster Reisner's district, that is District 1 in McGoffin County. You can bring your garbage, if you wish, to the old transfer station. They are taking, in addition to standard run-of-the-mill garbage and items, those large items that you can't set up by the curb, they are taking tires. I have been told that Solid Waste Coordinator Frankie Collett did secure a grant to allow them to take tires during this collection, and flood trash as well. Anything that may have, and I know that's a loose term, but anything which may have washed onto your property or by during the flooding. Keep that in mind. They're taking that as well. So tires and flood trash are being accepted. The end of this week is Magistrate District 2, Buckla Masters District, anyone who votes in that district, and then District 1 is next week. Some sad news, and it's some news like a lot of other things that's being blamed on the coal industry, and this is actually being blamed, as has been a lot of other things, on President Barack Obama's war on coal. Appalachian Air, which just got off the ground a few short months ago, is stating that they're having to call it quits. Their last flight coming up very soon. The air service from Pikeville, the Pike County Regional Airport, is going to have to shut down. Two companies which provide the service, that being Public Charters as well as Corporate Flight Management, have jointly announced that they're having to end the service. The official release came earlier today, and from Luke Schmidt, who is the president of L.B. Schmidt and Associates, who is the consulting firm who was involved with the project, says the failure of Appalachian Air to gain traction in the marketplace is yet another result of President Obama's war on coal. And he says they've had a very good record while being there and being associated with the Pikeville Airport. They've only had 2 weather-related cancellations in their entire service time, but sadly, they are not able to sustain their current activity. We hoped it would grow and become something big for our region. Maybe something will happen somewhere farther down the line. A little farther down the line, right after these messages, will be local headlines. Stay tuned.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
As I said at the top of the program, this serves as a reminder, as do many reports, that you just have to be on the lookout, not for yourself, but for other drivers. You never know what's going to be traveling our roadways. Early this morning, 3 arrests took place, all individuals under the influence, one without a driver's license, and many of which, if not most all, involved serious or hard drugs, which is not something unusual traveling through Sagersville and the Mountain Parkway.
The first arrest was that of a Louisville mother who had 2 teenage boys in her custody. Officer Mike Nichols says that upon making a traffic stop while doing routine patrols in Sagersville last night, he knew immediately that something was amiss, but had no idea that the teenagers would be involved.
Her boys, they was smoking marijuana at the time of the traffic stop, whenever I made the traffic stop. After initially talking to them, I smelt the marijuana odor from them. I talked to them, I talked to the mother. Come to find out that she had been smoking crystal meth. We did find crystal meth on her. We found her drug paraphernalia, which is her pipes that she smoked. There was a small amount of cash with that. She was charged and lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center with numerous charges, including felony charges of crystal meth.
Those charges against 33-year-old Amanda Charles of Louisville include 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor, possession of a controlled substance in the first degree, trafficking in a controlled substance in the first degree, DUI, reckless driving, and possession of drug paraphernalia. As for the 2 minors, her 17-year-old son and the other 17-year-old male, they were both turned over to family members who drove from Louisville to take possession or custody of them. And a short time later, while sitting stationary doing paperwork on that arrest, Officer Nichols says that he witnessed an individual, a man, get out of a vehicle to refuel, instantly noticing that he appeared to possibly be under the influence. And then after questioning him, he would take 2 other individuals to jail. This time, cocaine and other drug-related charges would apply.
In that process of doing that, I've seen somebody that pulled in at VIP Fuels. And the subject was acting kind of strange, and we pulled over to talk to him, and come to find out that he had crack cocaine on him. So, and he had multiple charges. His passenger had multiple charges. She had 5 warrants on her, including the extra charges that I'll be bringing against her. I also have felony charges that are going to be brought against Mr. Rowe. Reference to the crack cocaine. He had marijuana on him, he had drug paraphernalia, and a slew of other charges with him. He also had warrants on him as well.
The 2 Pike Countyans, 34-year-old James Rowe, were both charged. Rowe with DUI, driving on a DUI suspended license, DUI in the 3rd offense, actually, possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana, as well as he was served with several outstanding warrants. 35-year-old Angela England of Virgie in Pike County was charged with public intoxication. She, too, served with several bench warrants and also faces additional pending charges on behalf of the Sagersville City Police Department. Rowe reportedly also informed Nichols of something that Nichols says he has heard on numerous occasions pertaining to other traffic stops and arrests, that the individuals had been to Campton and back to purchase their crack cocaine.
We've got some other local headlines coming up in just a second. Real quickly, I've got some birthdays and some other announcements on your McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar.
In birthday wishes, a happy 45th birthday today to Victoria. Victoria Davis, from all of her family and everyone at DQ, which is almost one and the same, from all of her family at home, but from her extended family at Dairy Queen and us here as well. We hope she's had a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy birthday, Victoria. Birthday wishes tonight, a happy 27th birthday to Shauna Webster from Mom and Dad and a whole lot of family and a whole lot of friends. It's her birthday, too. Happy birthday, Shauna. And lastly tonight, I've got a young man turned 11. Happy birthday, it says happy 11th birthday to Austin Reisner. Love Mom, love Dad, love Mamas and Papas, love sisters, love family, and love friends. Happy 11th to Austin. And they're cruising in, as they do once a month this time of year. The Licking River Cruisers Car Club is hosting a cruise-in this Saturday starting at 4 in the parking lot of the McGoffin County Health Department. It's a great location, plenty of room. They've got free registration, free dash plaques to the first 50 who are registered, and they've been having some monster crowds lately. They'll have concessions on site and some door prizes to give away, all brought to you once again by the Licking River Cruisers Car Club, and it's this Saturday once again at 4 in the McGoffin County Health Department parking lot. Some cool rides. You can cruise in whatever you own or something special, or, if you want to just stop, they love to chat to you about anything they're driving as well. So it's just a good time and a lot of great camaraderie. Gear up and go. Be the light. Vacation Bible School at the Hope in the Cross Community Church. And it starts next week. It's Monday through Friday, all of next week, 6 to 8:30 each night. So go ahead and mark it down. Parents, gear up and go to Vacation Bible School at Hope in the Cross Community Church, all next week, starting at 6 o'clock nightly. Or take your announcement and go to our community calendar. Birthdays, anniversaries, or church or organization, they're all free, and you can mail it to P.O. Box 1443 in Sagersville. Our phone, 349-3699. Leave a detailed message. Spell any names for me, just because if it's a bad connection, which happens a lot, or a something else of that nature or multiple spelling name, you can fax it into 3221 yournewstoday@yahoo.com, or I'm on Facebook at Ritter Mortimer, and that will get it here as well. With that said, other announcements include tonight's funeral services brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. 70-year-old Simon Porter of Sagersville passed away on Monday. He's survived by his wife, Martha Mans Porter, and daughters, Michelle Brewer and Tanya Prater, as well as sons, Jimmy, Timmy, Sammy, and Sherman Porter. Visitation is going to start after 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, then continue all day Thursday and prior to services, which are set to begin Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock, with visitation and services both from the Gun Creek United Baptist Church in Royalton. 22-year-old Edgar Gamble, E.J. Gamble Jr. of Sagersville, passed away Saturday, the son of Edgar and Patricia Gamble, who survive, as well as his fiancée, Alyssa Kennard. Arrangements, as far as I understand, are still incomplete at this time, but are to be announced soon by the McGoffin County Funeral Home.
Hey guys, Jason Weffenstedt, sales manager at the all-new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky. Where, as you can tell behind me, we're just weeks away from opening our brand new dealership, and we want to invite everybody down to take a test drive and be entered to win a free vacation package from Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky.
They're only weeks away from their grand opening, but they're open for business today. So come in and get entered for a vacation package to be given away at the brand new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville. 297-5066. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Our friend Ben had hay down and didn't want to talk until it was official. I don't think he wanted to jinx it. We can't imagine that it won't be an announcement that we'll be talking about possibly in a few months later down the road. A McGoffin County Home Place is one of 15 sites across Kentucky that have been approved in Kentucky for a listing in the National Register of Historic Places, which I'm under the impression we only have 2 of currently in McGoffin County.
Now, it was Ben Gardner's impression, and he certainly would know more than I, that the only 2 that he was aware of, and there could be more, the old Sagersville National Bank building is on the Kentucky National Register, well, the National Register of Historic Places, and maybe the Judge Gardner home as well. But other than that, we weren't certain of any. We may have at least a 3rd, though, to boast about sometime soon, as the National Park Service will also be considering the nominations for eligibility. From what I understand, the Kentucky Historic Preservation Review Board approved several sites, 15 in all, just last month, while we're still awaiting an official decision on the designation. And they tell me now maybe 60 to maybe 90 days. Those 15 sites approved were the W.G. Swan Tobacco Company in Murray, the C.A. Baldwin Farmstead in Christian County, Peabody Fortson Historic District in Clay County, Kentucky Buggy Company in Owensboro, Roscoe Goose House in Louisville, the First Vineyard in Jessamine County, the Frank Duveneck House and Studio in Covington, Stearns Golf Course in McCreary County, Masonic Hall and School in Ohio County, Versailles Elementary School, the Charles M. Moore Insurance Company in Bowling Green, and, as you may well have imagined, the Gardner Farmstead here in McGoffin County, of course, sits on the Gardner Farm at the top of the Ivy Point Hill, which has most recently been, of course, the site of our Civil War reenactments. Deemed as Sagersville's and McGoffin County's first settlement, Archibald Prater, John Williams, Ebenezer Hanna, Clayton Cook, and others attempted to settle here at the Gardner Farm in 1794, but as you could read, were driven out by Indians. They returned later in 1800 and settled Licking Station on a hill in a horseshoe bend of the river. I've shown you that bend before, you may recall. They referred to it as a good defense against any possible attacks from any Indians, and it has since been noted by the Kentucky Historical Society and the Kentucky Department of Highways. So while the Kentucky Board has made these 15 nominations to the National Register of Historic Places, we now will have to wait to see. We can only imagine that such a site would be approved. If it does, it's just a very distinguishing designation. No real funding or other sources such with it, but it is certainly something to be proud of, and certainly something that we would love to see, as has been a lot of work, a lot of legwork, a lot of applications, and I'm sure on behalf of the gardeners and a whole lot of other folks to try to get it approved and placed on our National Register. So 60 to 90 days, I suspect we'll have more to come. I was planning on, had left some space for another headline that I'd hoped to have in-house. However, it's not been completed as of yet, so we'll have to hold off and go forward with our Licking Valley RECC forecast for now. Still got a couple of minutes should we receive any breaking news on something that we had thought may be included as part of the program tonight. So with that said, let me forward on over to your forecast, where we've got so far for the month 1.27 inches of rainfall. Much appreciated and needed, and that, of course, includes some light showers, which did wind down shortly after I left you for the early program last night. We'll see tonight, I think, a low of 59 degrees after an 86-degree day today, partly cloudy. We'll see some patchy, dense fog tonight, I think mainly after 2 a.m., and then look for widespread dense fog in the morning, especially between 7 and 9 a.m. Thereafter, you may recall I referred to it being a Don Henley kind of day. Well, tomorrow, but more so even on Thursday, the updated forecast has us close to 90 by tomorrow and sunny skies above, and then above 90. That's definitely, the heat is on. You get it? I'm not very good with jokes. 91 on Thursday, mostly sunny, definitely hot, and of course, not a nighttime low of 6 degrees. That is supposed to be 68 degrees for nighttime lows. Not that much of a swing. My apologies. We will ebb back to about 88 degrees, still mostly sunny. Now, after a few days off, we start to work in that threat of showers and thunderstorms to the tune of about 30% on your Friday. But I think we'll still see mostly sunny skies, just a threat of a passing shower, maybe even a storm. But I think we're going to say mostly dry for the most part through the weekend thereafter. We're talking about Saturday, even though we had mostly cloudy skies in the forecast for all of your weekend 24 hours ago. I think we'll see more sun than not. Partly sunny, 84, a little bit cooler, closer to where we should be because we're going to be above average for the next couple of days. Sunday, 86, a low of 70 degrees, maybe a little muggy. Partly sunny, still that threat of showers and thunderstorms late Sunday night. As we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week, we're still in the upper 80s. We still have a pesky 30% chance of showers and storms under partly cloudy skies. So once again, 59 for tonight's low, partly cloudy, and look for some patchy dense fog that will be widespread by in the morning. We'll forgo any other headlines for now and have more news on tomorrow's show.
And that's going to wrap it up for tonight's program. We'll see you midweek tomorrow. We'll see you back here next time for more of your news today. As always, thank you so much for spending a little time with us. And have a good night.